Hello. My name is Rohan Pambar. I work as an Android engineer in itAgenturen company. I am working in Android technology for several years and have worked with varying industries such as telecom, banking, smart home, commercial, social industries, and many more. Today, I am going to talk about Android Auto slash automotive application development. And we will deep dive with the car weather app demo, which I have already developed for this demonstration purpose. Before we begin, I would like to share what is Android Auto and what is Android Automotive OS. Firstly, Google introduced the Android Auto uh, many years ago. I don't remember exactly when, but yeah, it runs in a desktop head device which is embedded or pre-installed in your cars, and it actually projects the car auto apps installed in your Android device. So how does this possible? So when it actually works behind the scene. So when user connects the car uh, uh, dashboard with the Android device using an cable or USB cable, it will actually renders the car applications which we see in the demo, and whatever the car applications installed in your phone will be projected into your desktop head unit. And that is all about Android Auto. But what is Android Automotive OS? And then recently, Google has introduced the Android Automotive OS, which is extended version of an Android OS. So, in short, Android Automotive OS (AAOS) is actually built on top of the Android open source project, and it runs on top of pre-installed cars infotainment system. So it allows the car vendors such as, for example, Volvo, uh, Polestar, and many other companies that can actually have this Android Automotive OS run on their car infotainment system. So they can customize this Android Automotive OS, and it gives their own feel, own look, own theme of the car companies. And it will also allow the developers to build a third-party apps which supports in the car infotainment system. For example, media service app, navigation apps, messaging apps, and another point of interest apps. For example, finding the nearest charging point, or connect switching on or off your smart home lights through your car dashboard. So it actually it gives the power to your car dashboard with the help of this Android Automotive OS. In order to build the car applications, we need the car app library. This library doesn't run directly on the Android. It actually rely on the host app. These host app are installed in your Android OS and Android Automotive OS. Host app is basically pre-installed, and it's itself a host. For Android Auto, Android Auto is a host app which is itself a host, and it is installed in your Android device. And Google Automotive App Host is also an app or a kind of service which is installed in an Android Automotive OS. So yeah, that's all about the Android Auto and Android Automotive OS. Now we will deep dive into the car weather app demo. For that, uh, I have built a car weather app for this demonstration purpose, which I have mentioned earlier. And yeah, so here is how the project structure of our car weather app demo. And this is how it looks like. We have two applications, one for mobile app and one for Android automotive app. So in app module, this app module is just for mobile application, and this automotive is just for Android Automotive OS. And both these modules will be using car app service. So that resides, uh, all the code for the car application will be inside this car app service module. And rest of the modules are the data layer, the domain layer of the application project. So basically, I have followed a clean code architecture here, and so app can reuse this domain module, and automotive app can also use this domain module. So I have just make it modularized here. And so let's begin with the mobile app. So what I have actually built in the car weather app. So basically, I have in app module I have used the Jetpack Compose, and I have designed two screens, one for listing the cities and second for showing the weather of that particular selected city. So if I run this application in an emulator, uh, let me show you my emulator. Yeah, so here is my emulator, and I will run my mobile application. Yeah, so here you will see I have listed down some hard-coded list of cities here. And if I click on the Los Angeles, it will actually show me the weather detail of the Los Angeles. If I go back, if I select Stockholm, it will show me the weather of the Stockholm in detail. So the UI you see here is basically designed in a Jetpack Compose, and I have used the MVVM architecture here. So it's my view model, and here is my UI for list of city screens. And yeah, so basically, I am calling this view model, and this view model is dependent on this use case, which will actually help me to get the list of the cities. And once it gets successfully loaded, I will update the UI of the city screen and populate the cities into the composable functions with the help of the composable functions. And yeah, so that's all about the city screen. And for the navigation, I have used the Jetpack Compose navigation library here, and it's basically easy for the small application. And here, once the user selects the city, it will actually navigate to the weather screen with the help of the navigation controller. And here it's a weather detail screen, and I will actually show the weather screens, weather screen with the selected city. And yeah, so here's the weather for the mountain view. Now I will run the same application for Android Auto, and we will see the same application for Android Automotive OS. First of all, we will check about the Android Auto, and what I have done for the Android Auto. So I have mentioned before that when you connect your Android device with your car dashboard, it will actually show the list of the car apps, Android Auto apps. So I have added a support for the Android Auto in the mobile app itself. So in order to add a support for the car or Android Auto app, I have added a metadata here in the manifest that my mobile application for for car weather is also supporting the Android Auto application. So I have given this metadata, and it will actually notifies the system Android Auto host app that this application can also be actually rendered into the Android desktop head unit. So and in order to do that, we need a car app service. And car app service is a part of the car app library. So we will deep dive into the car app service. I have created a car app service module here. And if I go to the manifest, you will see this is the metadata for the minimum car API level. As of now, I have kept it 1. So it can actually support from the version 1 of the car API level. And then it also have this component service, and which actually the service, the Android Auto Host app will actually find a service uh, that extends the car app service from the car library. And we have exported it through so that Android Auto Host app can actually detect this service and start this service from the Android Host app. Once this service is actually triggered from the Android Auto Host app installed in your Android phone, it will actually create a session and start your application. So when user clicks on the Android icon from the car Android Auto desktop head unit, this session will start. On create session will trigger, and we will actually start a session here. So where is car weather session? So car weather session is extending a session class, and we will give the very root screen of our car auto app, which is here in our case, it's a city list screen. Now, if we go to the build.gradle file, I will show which library I have used for the support of Android Auto app. So here you will see the Android X car library, and this is the library for the Android X car app. And this is the library for Android X car app for app Automotive. We will look into this later on. Now I will show you my Android desktop head unit emulator, which I have installed here. And for that, I need to enable it. Yeah, here. So actually, this emulator is not projecting the Android car. I have actually connected my physical device here, which is actually connected with my cable to my MacBook, and it actually showing the applications listed here in the my phone. So if I run the car, actually I may hide the emulator of my mobile. Uh, yeah, there we go. And now I will run the my mobile application into my physical phone, and it will actually show the list of the apps listed here. So this is the menu, and these are the apps that is installed in my physical phone. However, this is the car weather app which I have already installed. So now I will run it for you guys, and it will launch on the device. Yeah. Now the app is successfully installed in my phone, and if I click on the car weather icon from my desktop head unit, yeah, we can see the list of the cities in this Android desktop head unit. So Los Angeles, it will actually show me the details of the Los Angeles. And if I click on view in detail, it will give me the humidity, wind, sunrise, sunset, visibility, and pressure of the particular day. And if I click on the navigate, it will give me the route to the navigate to the Los Angeles. As of now, I will select Gothenburg. Yeah, view in detail, same thing, and navigate. And it will actually show me the route to go to the to Gothenburg. And so that's all about the Android Auto app. And I will now show the code of the car, of the screens that I have designed in the car for the car application. So here are the screens, and here is the session, and here is my weather car service. So this is the car service. When this car weather car service actually triggered from the Android Auto host app, it will validate the host validator, and it will show the icon of the car auto app in the desktop head unit. And when user clicks on our car weather application, it will actually trigger this on create session. A session will start for our application. And this is the session, and this session will give the first screen of our car application, which is in our case, it is city list screen. Now here city list screen will extend screen class, and on get template, we will give the template of that particular screen. Here in this case, we have designed our car auto application using the template builder, which is recommended from the Google. So it actually does not distract the driver uh, of the car. So these templates are carefully built by the Google developers so that it actually doesn't distract the car and it actually restricts the users to interact less with the car auto applications. And here is the item list builder I have used for showing the list of the cities. And here is the row for each item that will be listed. And on I have also added a click listener when user clicks on the cities. So it actually push the new screen to the screen manager. And yeah, and here in this case as also I have use the domain module, so it actually have an access to the use case here. And using that use case, it will call an API and get the list of the cities. And it actually, once you get the response, you need to invalidate the screen so that the screen will get refreshed. So first of all, it will show the loading template, and then it will show the success template. And when user clicks on the click particular city list item, it will actually push the new screen, which is the weather info screen. Here in our case, I have used the pane template, which will actually show a big icon on the right hand side. As per this uh, application in Gothenburg. Here I have used the pane template. So it shows the big icon and shows some of the list. Here in the pane template, it is a restriction that you only show only 4 items in the list, not more than that. So I have to show the other details as well. So I have added a button, added action here, and when user clicks on this action button, it will actually show a grid template where you can show unlimited items here. And you can also navigate to Gothenburg. I have added this functionality, so you can actually it will actually trigger a third-party intent, and Google Map will launch this intent with the details provided in our query data. And yeah, so that's all about the car weather app for the Android Auto. Now we want to add this same application for Android Automotive OS. For that, I will remove this emulator so you guys can see the Android Studio more clear. And yeah, in order to support the Android Automotive application, we need to build a new app module. Like for example, from here, file, new, new module, and here you will see the automotive, and you just give the name of your application. If you want to uh, use a different application ID, you can. If you want to use the same ID, you can. So it's flexible. It will only vary on the Play Store, like how your application will be released in the production. And yeah, that's all. Once you give click on the next, an automotive my application module will be generated, which will only target to the Android Automotive OS. So here I have already made this for you guys. And first of all, we did go into the build or Gradle. The same thing, Android Automotive app will also use the same module, car app service, as we have done in app module. Now in car app service, the library we will be using is the Android X car automotive. And if we expand our source directory, you will see just an automotive app. This is just for dependency injection purpose, which is optional here. If you are not using any dependency injection, you don't need to declare this automotive application. But one thing you have to declare in manifest, which is the activity that will start. And this is car app activity is an activity coming from the Android Automotive library. So when you click on any app icon in a car Android Automotive OS emulator, it will actually launch this car app activity, and this car app activity will launch the car app service and start a session with our first screen, which is in this case city list screen. Now here you will see there is a metadata I have added, is a distraction optimized, and this is the metadata which will tell the Android Automotive OS that this application supports the Android Automotive apps. What is inside this Android Automotive app description is the same thing that we have used in Android Auto. But what this is the template thing. It actually tells that this application is using the template builder, the standard template builders used from the Android X library. However, you can also customize your own design, but still you need to be reviewed by the Google. However, Google is strict in reviewing the car apps as of now, so it's mandatory to use the template library to reuse. I mean, to design your car applications. Okay, I will close all other tabs, and this car app service. Sorry, main and manifest. Then Android Automotive OS, Google Android Automotive host app, in this case, in Android Automotive, will search for this service, will trigger this service, and will list the app in our Android Automotive OS emulator. For that, I will show the Android Automotive OS emulator. Yeah, there we go. And I will also show the desktop unit. So the top one is a desktop head unit, and the bottom one is the Android Automotive OS emulator. So this is a kind of Android Automotive OS you will see on your car dashboard that runs on a car infotainment system. Yeah. Now I will run the application for Android Automotive. So here in this case, we need to select the automotive module, and here we need to select the automotive emulator. For your information, Android Automotive Emulator is not available in Android stable version, Android Studio stable version. You need to download the preview version, which is the Canary version. Right now, the Canary version is Iguana. You need to install this, and you will find this Android Automotive Emulator from that. And once you download it, you can actually switch to your stable version of Android Studio and run it on your Android Automotive Emulator. So now I will run this automotive app, and yeah, here you will see our car weather app is launching, and you will see the screen, city screen. So the first screen here you will see is the screen. So it actually shares the same code base for the car application. So yeah, here is the Android emulator for the automotive. You will see the list of the cities. You click on London, and you will see the temperature of the London, and here view in detail, same thing, and navigate. It will actually start the navigation from here. It will actually load the route, and here it will show the route to London. And we will navigate back to our car weather app, go back, and yeah. So basically, that's all about Android Auto and Android Automotive OS. Let me check if I have missed anything. App is included, automotive is included, car app service is included. Yeah, data and domain module. I don't think I should be explaining this stuff if you are already uh, clear about the clean code architecture. But however, I will show you my database. I mean, not the database, but the data layer structure and my domain layer structure. Actually, my domain layer structure is using the data layer, and data layer is using the models that I have declared separately here. I'm converting the response data into the data model and then mapping it to my domain model. So my automotive app and mobile app will depend on the domain module. In domain, I have use cases, and these use cases are being in dependent on the repositories, and these repositories are implemented in my data layer. And yeah, these are my repositories. Where the repository will actually call an API to get weather data, and this is my retrofit interface will actually call an API. So my data comes from the retrofit, uh, converted into the repository implementation. Response is converted, and then this data model is getting converted into a domain model in implementation. And here is my data model, and here is my domain model, which is being converted, and then this domain model is returned into the use case because these repositories are used by this use case. And that's all. That's all about the data model and domain module. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you like it. And yeah, thank you so much. See you. Bye.